Getting ready to get with it again here this morning. I've got the other half of this. I think it's a basket weave twist I did years ago. But the other half I cut off. So I'm gonna spot weld by twos each of them as I go, and I'm gonna cut this end off and use two at a time and make staggered candle stands. And for the uprights of the gazebo here, the love shack, I think that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm still working on that. But yeah, I'm gonna start spot welding, slicing, dicing, get the bottoms welded out, and start unraveling the twist. Hopefully to be able to drive some things in. Just see what happens. I'll let the shape of the metal determine the actual finished shape. I'm going into it with no real predetermined idea of what it's gonna look like. Let's do it. Give you a look at what I'm doing here. These are going to be relatively vertical by the time I'm done, but I'm coming at the highest point out, the furthest point towards the vertical pole I'm mounting to, and I'm welding 6-inch pieces of rebar coming out. Then I got these scrap cutoffs that are 12, so I'm going to find a distance that's pretty equidistant and try to split the difference, and then put a level on them. Once I get these the levelness that I want coming up, then I'm going to cut these even, weld them to the vertical stanchions. So 4 of the poles out of the gazebo will have a dual set of candle holders up on them. So yeah, let's just get going. Forgive all the noise in the background. What I'm doing here is I welded a 6-inch stanchion off. I've roughly leveled this to where I want it, close. It's going to be a lot of eyeball. I'll adjust everything up here when it's done. Now I'm going to cut this even right here, and I'm going to eyeball the center point here and the center point here to the pole when I weld it. Unfortunately, I don't have dimensions that I can give you. By God, I used that twice here, didn't I? But anyhow, I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to eyeball everything in on each of the 4 poles. You'll see here I'm up high enough, and with an 8 to 10 inch thing I'll be here, and then the awning's on up here, so I think I'll have plenty of room. If not, I can re-weld it later. But yeah, I propped it up underneath to get the height I kind of wanted, and I'm just going to keep everything set right here. The bottom's going to touch the table here in the vise. I've got a stop down here, so this will get her done. Let's get rolling. Hopefully this will show through. I'm not convinced about my camera angle there. Snug it in the vise. Just looking for vertical up and down. Oops. Now I'm going to eyeball the bottom point and the center point to get it where I want it. And then eyeball these out. And this one's pretty good. It needs to come down just a little. That's looking pretty flush. I'm looking for parallel right here. Up and down. It needs to come back just a little. This one here is a big old hot mess. So I have to take it over to the vise. It looks pretty good. Vertically. Oh, I kind of like that. I think it'll work. Just eyeballing an even split to each side. I just gotta cut this one even. If I cut that level right there, it'll be ready to weld the bolt on the candle holder. Right, what I'm doing here for the top coat over top of the flat black is I'm gonna shellac it, but I'm also going to add, hopefully this comes through, micro sequin flakes. Dad had this jar from when he used to paint hot rods. I've never used it, but the internet says 2 tablespoons per quart. Excuse me, 2 teaspoons per quart. So, do 2/3 of a tablespoon. Just eyeballing all my measurements here. For shellac, I shoot it at about 50-50. It's not a perfect science. Yeah, pretty close. Ooh, it's coming through pretty. Keep from making a mess. We'll go slow. How I attach the candles into any type of candle holder that I'm making. I use 3/4 inch pipe caps. I'll mark a center point, drill a 1/4 inch hole, and use a little piece of 3/4 inch plumbing pipe, and it slides right down in. So I'm gonna get busy. I put a metal rod here that'll slip right in so I can find the center points, mark them all out, center punch them in, and get to drilling. Once I'm drilling them, I'll clamp a piece of pipe, that way I've got a clear hole right down in it. That's all we gotta do. How I attach the candles into any type of candle holder that I'm making. I use 3/4 inch pipe caps. I'll mark a center point, drill a 1/4 inch hole, and use a little piece of 3/4 inch plumbing pipe, and it slides right down in. So I'm gonna get busy. I put a metal rod here that'll slip right in so I can find the center points, mark them all out, center punch them in, and get to drilling. Once I'm drilling them, I'll clamp a piece of pipe, that way I've got a clear hole right down in it. That's all we gotta do. There it is. I'm gonna push this in halfway. This is all gonna be removable. And I'm gonna mark it with this 1/4 inch drill bit. I'm gonna drill it all the way through, bolt it, continue with the other 3, do the other side the same way. This way this can be split in half right here and modular. So I'll get this up on the bench where I can drill through it and just save one down here from being on the ground.
Hi, that's cool. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of guess it. Well, and you're my best friend, and I know that you're my other half, and I want to keep doing it. And no matter what happens, I want to always work it out with you, and it won't always be easy, but it's always going to be fun. And I want to know
Oh my God.
if you will marry me.
Yes. Oh, babe. It's so beautiful.